This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, for your half-assed entertainment news with no bullshit, with our hosts, the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Me.
Good afternoon and welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm the Baroness and I'm afraid my cat's going to get into the makeup and I forgot my microphone. I'm afraid my cat's going to get into my makeup. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I left it on the bed.
The makeup or the mic?
The makeup.
Okay. Have you ever seen a cat wear makeup before, by the way?
Yes. Every single time the cat has gotten into my makeup.
Does he look good?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
But he does.
Someone should teach him how to put on makeup better.
He gets it everywhere. He gets it on the bed. He gets it on the dressing table. He gets it on the desk.
You know, I've got a bone to pick with these cats because this one in front of me right now has been eating hair all morning and vomiting it up. And then I've watched him actively, and our kids told me, actively watch him lick it off himself, look at it on the floor, eat it, and then he goes and vomits it up later. And I don't know why cats do it, but I have a bone to pick with this cat about it.
So if cats are displaying pica, it usually means they're missing a nutrient or vitamin.
Displaying what?
Pica. It's eating strange objects, options, plastics, things like that.
Oh.
It usually means they're missing something. That's why, for those that don't know, it's important. Don't just feed your cats dry kibble. Don't just give them things like that. You need to give them wet foods. You need to give them varying foods.
Diversity matters.
We have one cat that eats everything and one cat, because we got him from the pound.
Yeah.
I think he's only ever had dry food. So getting him to eat anything is really difficult. So if I lace it with catnip,
almost like a huge adverse to it.
The dry food is full of corn. It's actually terrible for the animals. I mean, it's better than no food.
Yeah.
But I have like a random hair that fell off my head. But essentially, so the stray cats I feed in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't mind putting that out for them because it doesn't go bad. And when the raccoons get it, it doesn't hurt the raccoons.
Right.
But if you feed dogs, cat food, dogs will go blind because it's straight protein. They need a mix of protein and veg. Where wolves are straight protein like cats.
It's amazing to me then that the companies make so much money off these dry food, considering that I don't think it's even common knowledge that people know that cats and dogs whoever shouldn't eat that.
Yeah, it's about human convenience. It's not about the cats.
Okay. It always comes down to us. What makes us happy.
If we can put in a dry substance and it lasts longer, we don't have to change it every day. Like, think about when the cats get sick. I make them a mix of chicken and rice.
Yes.
To stop tummy
Never
problems.
heard of that before, by the way. Feed your cats like a chicken rice porridge if they're feeling unwell.
And so I make that for the cats. But who wants, most people don't want to buy ground mince, don't want to buy appropriate animals for the cats to eat. And what it leads to is, like, our cat, when we got him, had really bad anal gland problems. It was problematic.
It smelled horrific. This is exactly what everyone comes in here to hear is about our cat's anal gland problems.
The worst problem was I thought it was him. He was concerned it was me.
I thought it was her.
And we're sitting there like trying to be super polite to each other going, wow, something really smells. Until I found it on the bed and I'm like, smell this.
I didn't want to smell that. And then she made me confirm it was the
cat. I was like, which cat is it coming from? So here he is sniffing cat bottoms, trying to figure out which cat it came from. And we had to take it to a specialist, or him to a specialist, and get his anal glands expressed. Because apparently
expressed means they put their finger up there and squeeze from both the inside and outside to get the liquid out.
And so usually when cats, you guys are going to enjoy this, apologies. So with cats and dogs, the bits of bone and the things, the anal glands express as they poot, as they make pooties. But unfortunately, if they've been consistently given dry kibble, things like that happens to dogs too. The anal glands aren't naturally expressed. They can become infected. They can become compacted, all kinds of problems. And that's when you see dogs scoot. Dogs scoot because they're having anal gland problems.
Speaking of dogs, our sound engineer chimed in here with dogs do worse things, cats are better. So please let us know in the comments or in messages to the channel which animal or pet you'd like to have best, and it doesn't have to be dog or cats.
Shout out, by the way, to Matthew Morris Fine Jewelry. Thank you for everything. I have to always give the caveat, it's owned by my brother, so I get the best pieces.
Yeah.
But
And
he's one of our sponsors. He does our jewelry giveaways.
he does great jewelry. And
Mhm.
don't take it as a knock that we segued directly from cat anal glands to that one.
Oh no, I intentionally did it so I could send him a link saying cat anal glands and Matthew Morris fine jewelry.
Ah, it's good.
I did that on
give him a good
purpose.
laugh.
And off-road rentals in Palm Springs, California. If you want a free ATV ride, tell us who you like better, cats or dogs. Go over to our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Whoever gets the first one on one of those gets a free ATV ride in Palm Springs, California. And if you stay tuned and you are following Mr. Snuggly Bear Pants, you can find him at Bear Fiorda. He refuses to use Snuggly Bear Pants as his at.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
He is giving a free trip to California away coming up. Stay tuned for details.
And you know what? I really wanted to go.
You know, Marcos had your last one.
That is correct. One of the gentlemen who follows me, Marco, he's a great martial artist. He's fighting in MMA now. He got he won the competition I put out there. Flew to California for a week from Slovenia.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very fun time, actually. I really enjoy this trip out here.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So we are giving away I say we, it's a lie.
It's me.
He's giving away a trip to California, and we are going to be in New York in 2 weeks. So if you are in New York and you want to punch Bear in the face, invite him to your gym.
Okay, that's fine. I was waiting for where you were going to go with that one. I didn't want you to just say, then come up and say hi. And it's like, all right, everyone's punching me in the face now. It's really nice.
That's what happened with Dylan Dennis and this other guy. Hang on. I had ChatGPT write my list of talking points.
There's a worse story than that we need to talk about.
Okay, we will.
So you go through your thing.
So it was Dylan Dennis, wild backstage attack on Luke Rockhold.
Yes, you know who those people are.
I don't know any of these people.
That. You didn't need that.
No,
script.
The only brawl that I'm paying attention to is the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Justin Baldoni $400 million suit.
It's going nowhere, and she's good. She actually got casted in a new rom-com film. Cast, not casted.
Yes.
Why not?
Because that is not how you say past tense. Cast.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Well, you learn something new every day. Apparently, it's like dear, right? You don't just say deared or dearest or dear. You can say dearest or dears. You say dear.
Yes, dear. It's like cacti.
Listen, I'm learning a lot outside my standard American education, okay? Give me a little bit of grace and patience. But
I give you plenty of grace and patience. I know you were educated in America. Shame on you, America.
This is our education system at its finest.
I'm mad at your politics and your education system.
I don't want to get into politics. I want to get instead to a altercation that happened at a local pro wrestling match. So Rampage Jackson, former pro MMA fighter,
if you
UFC
do this,
fighter.
People can't hear you.
Yeah, they get an echo effect. His son, Raja, who also competes in MMA.
Is he cute?
Doesn't matter. You won't care after a second.
Okay.
He went to this event and he had cameras around him. He's live streaming. He's kind of streamer famous. And
he's one of those my daddy's famous, so I'm famous guys.
Actually, yes.
Gotcha.
And one of the pro wrestlers there, they're all in character doing like this pre-fight interview. Looks at him and thinks, oh, this guy's got a bunch of cameras with him. Maybe he's part of the crew. Goes up, talks to him. They have a face-off. Raja thinks it's good for his stream. This guy thinks it's good for the company. And then he's like, you know who I am. And Raja says, nope, I have no idea who you are. And in his mind, the other dude's like, oh, I'm in character. I'm the heel. This guy's know who I am. He takes a prop can of like beer and he smacks him in the face with it.
Oh, cool.
And that almost set off a big fight, right? Like they get each other's faces after that. The guy still thinks it's a game, not reality. And so two other people came in, they separated them. And he like apologizes profusely. He's like, I'm so sorry. I thought you were part of the crew. I had no idea. And to Raj's credit, it's the only kind of credit I'm going to give this guy. Stu, who's the wrestler, should not have just bashed in someone's head with a can thinking that he's part of the crew. If you've never seen him before, don't do that. That's so bad.
I'm gonna pause and say at these events, and I've done these before, they bring in wrestlers and guys from everywhere. The only people that have people following them are people that are working.
I understand.
So in this guy's mind, he was doing his job. He's supposed to interact with other wrestlers. I've been at these events. Your directive, your mandates from the studios is interact with as many other wrestlers as possible. I have hired these crews. I've given them the same direction, which is, hey, I welcome you all. There are 50 people at the orientation. You're like, okay, I want you guys interacting, heels to the right, good guys to the left. We want you interacting. Here are the props. And you show them, here are all your props. Here's this. Try one-on-ones. Make sure you bring your teams with you, which is your camera teams. And everyone hit makeup now. So that's how these start. there is a very, very real chance this guy came in with his crew. He might have okayed it, but if he did, the producers would have told these guys beforehand.
No, that's a good point. They did not.
This-
He wasn't set up beforehand. He just kind of showed up to this local event.
That's the problem. He shouldn't have walked in with a crew without consent. He absolutely disrupted what was going on because the only people with crews there at a professional event should be the professionals without permission.
We can get into that later. This is like an open outdoor thing. He like got tickets to
But
show
you're
up there.
not, I know, but you're not allowed legally. He's not even legally allowed to film without permits, without the permission of the event.
This guy did something so horrible, and you have me defending him. Hang on, let me get to the part that is the real problem here. Then I'll come double back.
I'm
to
worried
this
about
with
the
you.
film legalities. That is my job.
So, anyways, all the little kids on his stream start harassing him, like, I can't believe you just took that. You didn't respond. You didn't do anything. You're a bitch. You're a pussy. All this stuff. And he's getting progressively more mad. And you can hear it in his comments and response. He's telling the audience to stop talking. He's like, yeah, I'm going to hurt this guy. I'm going to fuck him up later. And then another pro wrestler comes over to him.
I'd like to remind everyone, every time we use bad language, we give money to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Humane Society of America, and free MMA. We care.
We swear because we care?
No, we care. And we got to do something about bears. We got to do something about bears swearing.
Long story short, another pro wrestler comes up to Raj and says, hey, you got to get this guy a receipt for that. And a receipt in the wrestling world's like
I know what
you hit him a little extra hard during the round and show him that you're nobody's bitch. And so Raja took that and he took all the harassment from the audience.
So you know, that will get you cut from the WWE if you do that.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
Got him cut. Anyways, he takes all the information, takes all the criticism he got from his stream, went up there, and when he slid into the ring, Stu knew this guy is going to enter. He knew it's happening. All right, cool. He's going to pick me up. He's going to slam me. I know how to do this. He slammed him on his head, so he spiked him and knocked him unconscious. And then he proceeded to punch him uncontested 18 times. And just full on cocking back and going. And he went to Stu was lifted out of there. He went to the hospital in the ICU. He's conscious and has memory now, but they don't know any long-term effects. And so that's honestly the biggest news in MMA this week.
So here's what's going to happen. Hopefully,
was attempted murder.
Yeah. What's going to happen. The guy that did that needs to be in prison. Yeah. The guy that got spiked needs to sue the studio.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to do a lot more than that.
He needs to sue the kid.
Yeah.
He needs to sue the venue. Like, he needs to sue everyone. And the reason I say
this, failure across the board there.
The first failure was this idiot that got in should not have got in with a crew. The state needs to sue Jackson, whatever this guy's name is. What'd you call him?
The state. Okay, why?
Because he was filming without a permit in a place he was not allowed to film that was a location for another event.
It's a live stream, though.
It doesn't matter.
I think the rules are a little bit different,
it's not. You can't go into Beyonce's concert and live stream it.
People do all the time.
They do, and they pull it down. They're not allowed to. Just because people do it doesn't make it legally right.
So
what this guy has done is he's actually streamed his own crime. He's going to jail and he deserves it.
Yeah, there's plenty of video evidence.
Absolutely deserves it. Two, that he needs to sue the state and the city. You have to have filming permits. This should never have happened. This was a live event. As far as the wrestling group that did this, they don't have real refs. So, because these are stuntmen, not fighters. They're incredible stuntmen. I am not knocking pro wrestling. What these guys do, I have worked with them, is some of the hardest stuff you've ever seen. Of course, this guy didn't fight back when he grabbed him. He thought it was a bit.
Yeah.
They have a professional way they're supposed to do it. This guy wasn't fighting him. He was getting into position to get thrown.
No, and Raja's actually a significant amount smaller. So he said that he had jumped up when Raja picked him up to help him. And that momentum carried into the slam.
But that's the thing. This guy wasn't part of the event.
No.
He pushed in because his dad's famous and pretended he was special. That's the problem. You aren't special because your dad's famous. And he's walked in and he thinks he owns his dad's accolades. And he's walked in there with this sense of entitlement. It is always the Nepo babies that cause these problems. It is.
No, I don't disagree with you. This is a huge amount of nepotism going on here. His father is the famous one. He platformed his kid. His kid's now in MMA. His kid's now doing the streaming.
His kid's in MMA. His kid should not have been fighting a wrestler. You are not. I love you. You're a great fighter. You are not qualified to fight a wrestler because you are not a stuntman.
No, but I know not to put someone on their head. It was done intentionally. That we know what spiking is. We're well aware, and that was an intentional move. It was his choice to do it because he was pissed. He was agitated at what happened probably, and then he got egged on by everybody else, and then he was told that it was okay.
And but the guy that did it with him thought he was a professional.
And that's just it. And the worst part is, if Raja had responded in the minute, like, "Oh, you hit me with the can, I decked you in the face," everyone could have been like, "That was a knee-jerk reaction. He didn't expect that to happen. He's not a professional wrestler." But he accepted like 7 apologies from this guy, shook hands with him, and moved on.
Yep.
And then he went around and did that. And honestly, he's talking about it on stream. This is premeditated. He's talking about how he's gonna do something to this guy.
He belongs in jail.
He does.
He belongs in jail.
He's a danger to himself and society.
And I blame his dad. And I say it this way: I blame his dad.
I wish his response was better, honestly.
Parents need to discipline their children. I am not a fan of the way America does gentle parenting. I'm a fan of gentle parenting. Y'all have screwed it up. It is not supposed to be telling children do what you want.
Right.
And let me tell you, my little people, the little people that I have adopted over the years, I do not give them carte blanche with my money. I make them go to school. I make them have jobs. My family has lots of businesses. The kids have always worked there, and they don't start at the top. Like Off-Road Rentals. So for you guys know, that's one of my uncle's businesses. My daughter started there cleaning toilets and handing out helmets.
It's a very what do they call it when no one gives you accolades for doing it? A very unforgiving job, or
it's a very thankless job.
It's a very thankless job. Yes.
But that's what matters. And I am very angry with these parents that teach their children, you're born special. Nobody is born special. I mean, you have to make yourself special. I don't care if you're born the king. I don't care if you're born a pauper. What you do with your life is what matters. It is certainly easier if you're born wealthy, if you're born with advantages. If I went to private school, that makes life substantially easier. Well, but that does not mean you get to sit on your butt and live off the accolades of others. If you don't do, my father's favorite line was, the only responsibility every person has is to leave the world better than they found it. That's it. If every human on earth left the world just a little bit better than they found it, we will go on and on and on and not go the way of the dinosaurs.
Well, speaking of people whose parents should have taught them respect, because they'll eventually grow up and be extremely rude to people who they invite to their restaurants to review their food and then try and force them to pay a bill they initially said they would comp. I'd like to welcome our guest to the show, Diane.
I would like to be clear. She isn't the one that was rude. It was the people to her.
Oh, no.
Your intro, I understand what you were saying, but I'm just saying, no, they were awful.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, and so everyone there knows, we have reached out multiple times to this restaurant for comment. They refuse to give it. Hi, how you doing?
They don't want to talk to us.
Hi, guys. Doing good. Had a lot of thought after that. It was very informative talking through this with you both and hearing what you guys had to say, because you have a lot of history with working with branding and everything else to know the inside of it. So it helped me out a lot. Yeah,
you got screwed. That's the technical term.
Yes.
That's the technical term. But you're not the only one that happened to. There was actually someone, and I love that the internet responded this way. On sometimes the internet responds with whoever talks first, which is unfortunately what happened in this case with you.
Yes.
But there was a place, I think it was in San Francisco, where a smaller creator had been invited out to the restaurant. The chef changed their mind, came out and blasted this smaller creator, and the internet shut down the chef's business. I thought it was a very appropriate way to respond. You know, they invited him out. He didn't check her social media first before they made the deal. That's not her fault. Yes. But you don't get to publicly embarrass or harm somebody because you didn't do that. And I'm sorry, but to me, it was the wording. And I know we talked about this last time. The wording in the deal, the person you dealt with was clearly not the person that made the deal with you, but they were cognizant of the deal. And then after the fact, their business partner is now trying to defend this bad behavior.
Correct. And you invited me back on the show to finish the story.
I
And,
did.
you know, yeah, and thank you,
You
because
do it.
there's a lot of comments on I didn't tip still, you know, but I'm going to say the haters are still going to hate no matter what I say.
Oh, let
because
them. That brings your numbers
Yeah.
up. The more you're talked about, the better.
And it actually is, I do research because that's what I do when I write. A lot of the bad comments, and I mean super nasty. And then you go on their Facebook and they're all like, hi, I love this and that. And I'm like, this is not who you really are, because your comment was really nasty.
It's keyboard warriors. They hide behind the keyboard, and because they don't have to look you in the face, they forget that you're a person. I have no problem. You want to turn around and say, look, I disagree with you. You're awful. I disagree with how you behaved. Hey, I would have done this. Fine. It's the death threats. It's the unalive yourselves. Yes. It's all that nonsense that
Yes. And I noticed where they come from because I look on their Facebook, and they're coming from New Orleans. I am not getting any comments, any bad negative comments from the rest of the world and the rest of the US.
It's tribalism. That's a business within New Orleans. So people emotionally and psychologically align themselves with it within their own area. Therefore, they come out that way. It's just another form of tribalism.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with the incident as well, and what happens. And I have to say, I'm getting supporters because they understand that a content creator is not going to go into a restaurant and pay the money, which is kind of average, is what I charged, what I bought, to do the reels and to do the work. They're like, what delusion, are people under to expect that this is what happens? I understand some people don't understand the business, but I do understand this certain cult following doesn't care and doesn't want to understand. So we're talking to the rest of the people who
I always want to talk to the people who disagree, and I encourage people to disagree. If you want to disagree, if you're from New Orleans and you think she's a monster, I'll happily talk to you. The standard and the way that influencers operate, this is the norm. The catch is influencers have had a backlash and a pushback in the last few years because there have been some really nasty ones. So it's not as popular now to be an influencer or a content creator as it used to be, because there were a few that took advantage. So it's really easy for people to jump on that bandwagon and assume you're lumped in with them. But you have a legitimate business. You have a legitimate, I encourage everyone to read her work. She's a very, very good author, very, very good writer. And you have a legitimate business. You have a legitimate brand. Now, would you tell everyone a quick version of what happened to start with? Sure. She made a deal, came in, was showing the food, and then got to the end. I believe we got to the end. You were paying. That's as far as we got before we got cut off last time.
Right. And I'll just rehash a little bit at the end. When the server said, your bill is ready, I had said, what bill? I'm here and it's comped. And she said, the dessert's comped, only the dessert. So I looked at my, guest and said,
I believe we'll be having your guest on the show today as well.
Wonderful. Jim Frazier, great. And I looked at him as if, wait, I've never had this happen where at the end they're saying what's comped. That means that there was no conversation before what was comped. So I'm going to go to the tip situation, and then I just want to go back a little bit because I don't want to miss that again. So what happened is at the end, Andrew said, fine, just tip. I tip anyway, but if that was the deal
for the audience, that is standard. If a meal is comped, you always tip.
Yes, and that's a given. And I usually tip on my card. So what happened is after he said that, because he was very unhinged, rallying around and everything. I'm not saying for any reason, but this is how it appeared to me. And the other people there were over me, us, and everything. So when we said, okay, all right, so yes, we'll tip, he said he talked to his partner, and then he said, "Now get out, get out, get out." And like, the waitress again was holding the door. It's only 20 feet away. It's a small restaurant. And it had about 5 tables, so you could see clearly there was no one at the bar. I had seen the door. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm really nervous. I'm not used to this. I went for the door. She held it for me. He said, "Get out." Okay, if you're upset with me, I don't want to do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I
Mhm.
made sure that I got out. The minute I got out, we weren't running or anything. We were like, what? We were like, he came right out and followed us and said, "Okay, where's the tip?" And I said, "You didn't give us time."
You just screamed at us to get out.
Yeah, and you didn't give us. Well, my partner said, "You didn't give us time." And he took out his money, and I haven't spoken to him for a while, so he's going to say the same thing. Took out his money because I usually use a card. He was so unhinged. I didn't trust the professionalism of the restaurant. I didn't want to give him my card. I felt that they, yeah.
It
Go ahead.
reminds me of it's the level of gaslighting and abuse in this one situation.
Yeah.
Is absurd. And again, we've reached out to the restaurant. Apparently, we are not having him on today. I think we're going to have him on separately and talk about this. But it looks like, to me, what happened when you've got somebody saying "get out," I'm not going to stand there while someone's screaming at me, telling me to get out.
No.
To do anything.
Right, and I'm going to do what they're saying since they're screaming
It's
at
their
me.
restaurant. It's their restaurant. You want me out? I'm
Yes.
gone.
They have a bouncer over there. I'm like, what are they going to do? Let me get out, right?
And then he's coming in and saying, "Well, you didn't tip, mate. You just screamed at me to get out. I
Yeah.
will happily tip, but you need to have a conversation with me."
Yeah, no, not going on. And while we were outside, he followed us right outside. She had the door open for him too, and said, "Where's the tip?" And we said, he said we didn't have time. And then he said, "I'm so confused. What's going on?" He's not used to this. Okay, I get it. I go to events and everything.
No one is used to this. I go to 50 events a year. He gets comped meals. Like I'm not going to say where. He got comped a beautiful, beautiful meal. I ended up I got really ill from the meal. There was an issue,
Okay.
not with the restaurant, but with one of their suppliers. And we have a great relationship with the restaurant. I'm not going to put that out there. I'm not going to say where it happened.
Right.
But that happens all the time. There is a collaborative relationship between creators and these restaurants, because native advertising and natural advertising is the most valuable form of advertising these days. And in your case, you talk about travel, you talk about fashion, you talk about all of this. That is incredibly valuable, because if you're traveling, yours is designed for people that are traveling and going to.
Yeah.
So it directs people there, and it's a very valuable thing for them.
Mhm.
It's
And it collects a bigger audience too, because everyone is into aesthetics, and
Yep.
everything is aesthetics now.
Right.
Right, correct. So what happened is, when we were outside, he did take out his cash. I was surprised he had cash. I was like, "Oh, so glad you have cash," because I don't carry cash.
I don't carry
my
cash.
card. Yeah.
There's cash
And so
sometimes.
he took out $30, and I was like, okay, I know it's not as much, but we're gonna have to do that. I don't trust with the card.
Fair.
And he agreed. Not one of us is going to give out a card.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah. So what happened though, he was doing this. Andrew was not taking it. He said, "Hold on." He was still yelling at us while he was holding it. And while Jim was holding it, said, "Hold on," went back into the bar for 2 minutes while we were waiting outside. And I said, "What is he going to do? Is he going to get the bouncer? I don't think he needs maybe he does need a bouncer." But he got the bouncer, or not. And so we were like, okay, we're going to wait. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling very nervous. When I say the restaurant, it's in a dark area, which I mean, everyone tries to take things and make them any kind of like what's wrong or shocking. What I mean is, there was no lights outside. It was a neighborhood with just houses and no other commercial buildings. And it was pretty dark other than the restaurant. So we were like, okay, we're just here. No one else is here. There's no other establishments. And when I was saying I was walking back, we were nervous because it was dark. We were like, where was the car again? He dropped me off, so I had no idea where the car was. And so all this is going through our head. What's he going to do? But we stayed there because we're professionals, so is
I would
he.
have put the 30 on the ground and walked
That's
away.
true. That's why we weren't even
I would have
thinking.
felt so unsafe. That is
I was so unsafe. You're right. I was spinning. He was
Oh,
spinning.
I don't blame you. It's funny, and it's well, it's not funny. I don't mean funny, haha.
I
I mean
get
funny,
it.
strange.
Yes.
That you're in this position, and yeah, I would. That's an awful position to be in because there is no
Wild.
book for how to deal with somebody that's behaving that way.
Right. I mean, like, I know that you deal with cage, and you're a big fighter.
Right.
When you do that, you have to have experience to focus and know what to do and be shocked.
I don't think he'd know what to do in that situation.
Well, his thing
Not
and you
that,
have
but in
an
his situation, right?
expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
You know what's supposed to happen.
He's
Yeah.
not. You're expecting to be punched in a cage.
Yes.
Right.
You're not
right.
expecting someone to scream at you
Correct.
in a restaurant, and certainly not in front of their other patrons. That's
Well,
the
what-
weirdest thing. You think
what's-
there would be some
I
care for his
know.
reputation.
But at that point, there was 3 tables. So I guess they didn't care. They were like, here's the thing. So I'll just finish that. And this is what I've been like thinking about because I wasn't clear. I'm getting clearer. That's why thank you for inviting me back to the show. It was my first podcast ever. And so I'm so glad it's
did
it's
very,
your
very well.
podcast.
It's really nerve-wracking. You did really well.
And you helped so much knowing that it's new for me. And so when we finished paying him, I missed 8 minutes outside. And I should have put the 30, but not used to it. Like if you're in a
You don't-
situation used to. Yeah.
It's very easy for me to sit here without somebody screaming at me and analyze a situation.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
very different than being in it and being
Right.
afraid. Those are two
Right.
different things. It's hindsight's wonderful. I can say whatever I want. I wasn't in that situation,
Right.
so I have no idea what I'd really do.
Absolutely.
But you know what? For anyone that was treated this way, that's what you should do.
Put the money down, walk away.
Just
Get
throw it
yourself
away.
out. Yeah, get yourself out. Good
Yes.
Lord, I hope nobody's treated that way. That's
Oh,
terrible.
you don't know. Who knows? I mean, desperate people, desperate times.
True.
But so what happened is we were walking and he was like, okay, where's the car? And he's like, I think it's this block. And he didn't write it down. So we're taking our time. Oh, he's in the car, Jim. He said, I see that guy because he didn't introduce himself to us. So we didn't know his name. I usually go and I get it, I speak to the owners or the manager and we talk about it and we talk about the names and everything.
For anyone out there, if this is new to you, what she means is what is standard is the owner will come and speak with the influencer or collaborator or creator that is advertising the restaurant. They will talk about what the best dishes are. They'll talk about what they want seen. There is usually collaboration with the establishment.
Yes.
Or at least they'll wait till the end if they want an entirely organic experience and then come say hi.
Yes.
So one of those two things are done. That is very, very normal and a very reasonable expectation on your end that either at the beginning, if they want to direct, talk with you about what to get or what to do, or at the end afterwards, they'll come and say thank you.
Right. And for this instance and situation, if they were planning to just give me the dessert, they should have even come by anyway, just to let me know, thank you so much for being here, be appreciative. And I'm appreciative that I'm there at the restaurant trying their food, it goes both ways.
Yeah,
just be cordial.
I'm not showing up. Yes, it's content for my blog, but I'm not showing up for and not charging. Like if you want to give me a dessert and have me pay for the food, fine. Then you're paying for my time.
Right.
Like you're a professional. That's unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not charging them because it's providing content for your product, but you're not charging them your hourly because it's providing content. But the expectation, of course, is that they provide the product for you to review, which in this case is the food.
Yeah. And the reason why I picked the restaurant is for the entertainment. So I was actually invited to 4 other restaurants while I was there. I was only there though for 3 nights. That's it. And I picked this restaurant because I wanted to vary, and I love entertainment, you know.
It's also
So
great to get the small little hidden gems.
yeah,
And that adds value to
Yeah,
the area and to a blog, or it's
it
one of the
does.
things I know he likes doing when we go places.
It's fun,
Little hole
really.
in the wall
It's
places.
fun. I'm actually going to a restaurant entertainment establishment tonight. It's so much fun to get in
Do you want to give them a
different
shout out?
things to do.
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
Okay.
But I may after Jim speaks.
Perfect. Well, he's coming on a different show.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's not for this show. So we're going to have
okay.
him on, and we're going to talk about this, but it's not on this show.
Oh, awesome. He's going to have, oh, great. That's even more time for him. I'd love to. I can't wait to hear that and watch it. So what happened is Jim said, so the owner's there, and I was creeped out. I'm like, where is he? He's in the back of the car. I'm like, let's go. That's when we dashed. I said, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And that was the ending of it. And I thought that, okay, the way they treated us, they felt we gave them, a treatment. Nothing else is going to happen. We were upset. Nothing else going to happen. But that was my mind then. That's why I went on thinking everything was fine. My new way of looking at it is my suspicion, and this is just my feeling, that they didn't come over the table. I've never had that happen. I've always had a manager or someone come over the table, or a chef. They didn't come over the table. And at the end, I said, okay, fine, I will do an article. I'll do an article on it, which would be more probably the entertainment, but I didn't get to see it. Meaning, if you want me to stay, right? I'm like, I'll do an article, like anything for you to be calm.
You're trying to de-escalate.
Yeah,
the
calm
situation.
down it. Yeah. Do you know what he said? We don't want an article from you. We don't want anything. He said to Jim used to write for paper in New Orleans as well.
Right.
And I don't remember the name because and he said, and I also can include you in blah, blah, blah. Just to shout out who they are, everything else. He doesn't have to review the food, just a shout out. And we discussed about the entertainment, which he said, no, nothing. That was when he said, get out. That was right before he said, get out. Now, the thing with me is, why wouldn't he want an article in a paper? Why wouldn't he want a write-up just talking about mostly the entertainment? Yes, there's food, but I had issues with some of that, like I wrote.
It sounds one of two things happen.
Yeah.
If I'm giving them grace, the owner that set up with you versus the owner that interacted with you did not communicate. That is if I'm giving them grace. What I'm seeing more of, and I have seen this, and I would welcome the owner to come on the show and refute this. They're more than welcome. It seems to me, no, you will not.
I would love to hear it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I'm not putting you anywhere near them. I do not like how you were treated.
Thank you.
To me, it seems like they were doing one of the more popular moves right now, a form of advertising where you pick the fight with the influencer because that's PR. And you'll get more PR from acting like a jerk than you will interacting normally. Yeah. And I don't know if what they did was intentional. They intentionally did this for this kind of PR, or if they just have poor communication between the owners. But either way, their behavior and reaction is deeply inappropriate. Yeah. Because once someone made that deal with you, and we talked about it last week, the wording, they understood it.
Yeah.
They understood it. I read off the exact wording, at least from their own statements. They understood it. So if this is a miscommunication between the owners, you should have gotten an apology. If this is, hey, we don't want a review from you, fine. Then this was a bad experience. We'll chalk it up, move back. But to use you for press after behaving that way really concerns me, because I'm seeing bigger picture. People doing this more and more. Look, again, we were talking about San Francisco, what happened with that smaller influencer. Right. With someone at your level, they're not going to do that because they'll get their butt kicked online. But with when somebody has less than 1 million followers,
I can't help but feel that maybe the owner you spoke with had an idea in their mind of what was going to happen. You show up, the other guy hears about it and thinks, "Nope, I don't want anything. I don't want any part of that." And instead of trying to communicate that with you, saying that we ultimately this was a mistake, we're choosing to go a different direction. We'll take care of this meal, but we don't want the association. You just yelled at you. You just got mad. You got mad and yelled at you for basically something that someone else did.
That's pretty much it. You know, and it's poor business. They've used this to promote themselves. I've read the articles they've put out. I've invited them on the show. I've, asked for statements. We haven't gotten a response. And I don't know if it is ignorance, it is poor business that they should, after the fact, they should have Googled what standard is if they made that mistake. If it happened at the time, conversation is not a difficult thing to have.
No.
And manners cost you nothing. So it's really not a good situation for you to have been in.
To me, it's organic. I feel that from the beginning, they were like, oh, let her order. And we'll tell her later on what's comped.
So you feel it's a bait and switch.
I feel it's slow. When he was yelling at us, he kept saying summer's very, very slow. And I just wanted to, and I'm sure you guys know about the restaurant business. There was 2 wines each and a cocktail. The cocktail, I didn't really want to drink much of it. It was for the real. And drinks are how restaurants make money more than food. So the drinks added to $120 of the $280, not $3 bill. So the food was not as much food as they said we ordered. And we didn't want to order the whole menu anyway.
Even had you, I've watched, and I know he watches, and even in our own, if they encourage you, of course, to get an appetizer, to get a main, to get a dessert, because that shows the go through.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of reels where they and casts where they just do food.
Yeah.
They will order enough food for 10 people.
Yeah. I mean, if you
together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy with him. He eats it all, but with most people, they can't eat it.
Right.
You do. You eat what 3 people eat. It's really easy when we do it with you. When we've had to do things without him and bring food, oh my God, the amount of food left.
Yes, it's true. If you see my reels, you'll see how much food I normally order. And they love it. And like before, chefs will bring it out or they'll suggest, or, on the menu, the server will say, would you like to try blah, blah, blah. And that's why I felt the server was saying, oh, this is a really good wine. Do you like after we're done? So I was thinking, oh, sure. Why not? And you're offering, this is a popular wine in the restaurant. It wasn't about how much I could order, but the problem is, and this is me thinking how much I can order and doing that amount. So I am very, very careful about how much I order.
I think people also don't realize when you're staying in a hotel in a foreign place that it's not like you're really taking leftovers back. Ordering a lot in no way benefits you. I've, one of the things I love going to New York. We're going next week. My ring is now stuck in my hair. We're going, but that most hotels now don't have fridges. If you're in an Airbnb, maybe, but most of the time when you're traveling, it's comped by a hotel, and most of them don't have fridges.
Right.
I'm wondering if this is another problem that may come up. You obviously have a history that people can track, right? They can go back through, they can see the reels, they can see the blog, they can see all the things you've done. They can see all the restaurants you've worked with, the positive reviews, maybe some bad ones, but you have like a credit, right? With an audience.
Long credit.
And so I think it says something as to everyone else who's maybe providing a lot of the hate that they're not even bothering to really go back and kind of look you up. They're just taking this as this is the one story you've ever done. This is like your first meal and this is how it went, versus looking back and saying, oh, here's all these positive things to have occurred. Here's all the interviews with the owners or the managers, all the food you've done. But now there's a problem with this particular guy. Maybe he's the problem.
Let's give grace. Let's say, okay, this guy misunderstood. There is still a level of decency and professionalism that he did not display.
Right.
And with the summer being slow, that is actually off season is when most people encourage these stories to be done. They don't want you coming in the busy season. For the ATV place, we do giveaways at Off-Road Rentals in Palm Springs. I encourage people to come in off season. I do not want them coming Christmas week, Easter week, when it's busy.
Yeah, when they're slammed,
They
they can't really help or be a part of the experience.
That's it. They don't need, influencers coming in the Christmas rush. And if you call them then, they're going to tell you no. Hey, let's do it at another time. So summer may be their slow season. That's when they want you. So
you would think.
Yeah, that's standard. So to me, one, this man is not very good at business. But two, even if he misunderstood, the behavior is what concerns me.
Yeah.
The lack of decency, the lack of conversation. His partner made a deal he couldn't cash.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you turn around and go, look, I know my partner made this deal. We can't afford this. What if you cover this? We cover this. I am so sorry.
Right.
I understand you made a mistake. Hell, I understand there's a miscommunication. Conversation would have been the order of the day. You are a well established content creator. I encourage everyone, go check her out. Really, this is not a first time look, I just decided to do this. So for somebody with your history, one of two things is true. Either the restaurant owner is right and everyone else that you've ever worked with and ever been seen at is wrong, or this guy's wrong and everyone else is right. Or magic option number 3, there's a miscommunication, and rather than admitting he made a mistake, he acted like a jackass. Also possible.
And there's so many ways, right? There's so many perceptions and ways of even looking at this.
But manners would have cost him nothing.
Yeah. No, but to me, it was organic because I was suspicious of the fact he did want an article, because the food and the drinks were about $80 for that restaurant.
Yes, but he didn't want an article because he'd already acted like a jackass. And then he preemptively tried to put out a story in fear that you would put it. This is how this reads to me. Is the one partner made a deal, and then when this happened, he acted like an ass, and then realized when you guys are going, look, we're supposed to be doing this article, we can do this, we can up what we're doing for you if you're upset by this. He is now no longer wanting the article. He's afraid you're going to write about the experience. And then he used it to preemptively push himself, put out these articles, say we were taken advantage of. Oh, poor us, taken advantage of by the horrible content creator.
And I do have to say, NOLA.com actually put it out, didn't even ask me anything, but researching NOLA.com, which is a paper in New Orleans, a big paper, always reviews their shows. So to me, there's some kind of conflict of interest going on. And I have to seriously think about this.
I'm surprised they didn't at least write you for comment. I mean, even we, of course, wrote them for comment. We're not journalists. It's just basic decency in media. You always reach out to the other side.
Yes. I think it's someone knowing someone. That's what started the whole paper situation.
Did you reach out to the paper and write the paper? You should.
I reached out for a desist letter, which, states, please, take it off. And, cease and desist. Actually, I had someone write to them to do nothing. Did not happen, but I do have all of these situations that I can move forward with.
I would give them a choice: either print your side, print a retraction, or you can sue. Legally, you're entitled to all 3.
And it's not just that person. I'm not going to name names because I don't want them to get more traction. There are podcasters out there that are just being really evil with me and trying to get comments and saying all of these things that aren't true. And then there's people that don't really know me that are commenting about me and saying things that are not true. So this person these 2 people are also could be in a lot of trouble calling me liar, prejudiced person, this and that, like a lot of slander.
Right.
The defamation is an important angle. But I wouldn't. Media moves fast. They are trying to capitalize by making you a villain because, points to them, it's a good media strategy because your fans will, of course, push back. People in New Orleans have a vested interest, so they will push forward, and it got them more traction. They got more from trying to destroy your reputation than they would have from working with you. And it is an unfortunate precedent, but it is an existing precedent.
But here's the other thing. I went to 2 other restaurants I could fit in. One is Two Jacks. That is the second oldest restaurant in New Orleans.
Shout out to Two Jacks.
Two Jacks, love them, and and their service is beautiful. And I went because he said that they were a very respected restaurant that's been around 150 years. So I went there, and I went there. Um, I went to one before, which was great, and then this one, and I said, oh, like night and day, beautiful. I actually did reels. You could see it on my Fashions Digest of Two Jacks, and they reposted on their platform. So that's what restaurants do. I mean, if they love your content, they will use your post for like the day to let them know the food, what you felt, what was your favorite dish,
They also
the ambiance.
They also do it to redirect your audience, and it's good
Yes,
marketing because you
yes,
got followers. They put it on their page. I know they do it with Bear all the time because they're trying
Yeah.
to redirect that audience.
You
We
know-
are at the end of the show. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Okay, so at the end of the show, I have a challenge for Pulashella. The challenge is videos are being seen that they were in the restaurant, they're outside the restaurant. I want them to put their videos up of what went on, even visually.
Ooh,
We'll
I like that.
you will show what went on, will show the truth of what I'm saying,
Whoever
inside
has
and
the
outside
best video,
video.
I'll pay for that. I will pay
I
for
would
that.
love it. That will show what will happen. Everything I said. You can visit me on this about influencers. It's at influencers of underscore New York City on TikTok, because I know there's fine lines for that, and I want to talk more on what we do and content creators, what we do, and
I
all
like
the
that.
current
Where's your main
culture.
page? Where can they find you right now?
So it'll be at Instagram at Fashions Digest, and on TikTok, it's going to be at influencers of underscore New York City.
Perfect.
Excellent.
So go check her out. I actually follow the Fashion Digest one, just so everyone knows. That is a very, very good one to follow. Guys, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry you had that
Thank you.
experience.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for everyone here watching, hanging out. There's a blanket behind me. I didn't notice the entire show.
Ah, it looks good.
We are going to be in New York in 2 weeks. Next week, we are going to be back talking about everything Hollywood. I'm the Baroness. We are on with my co-host, the baddest bear in the cage, Bear Fiora, and I have to go get his back waxed today. He's going to love that. Tonight, we are going to be in Hollywood at a Trauma event. We will see you there. Good night.
This has been Behind the Scenes with the Baroness and Bear Fiorda, only on Talk 4 Media.